Okay, so hi everyone, Senan on this side, and let's solve this LeetCode daily problem, maximum distance in arrays. And before starting, let's discuss a slight controversy that happened today. Is when I checked this question in the morning to do this, what happened was this was a LeetCode premium problem, but there was a lot of issues and concern raised throughout on some Reddits, some comments, and even on the LeetCode forums. So what now they have removed they have basically made this not a premium problem. I think that is just for today, but so what is this question stating? So you are given m arrays where each array is sorted in ascending order. You can pick up two integers from two different arrays. Each array picks one and calculate the distance. We define distance between the two integers a and b to be their absolute difference. Return the maximum distance. Now the straightforward way is basically you take a minimum element in this case, and you for the rest of the elements try to find the maximum element and maximize the distance. Then for this 4, you can find the, since we cannot pick those two numbers from the same array, what what we are doing is selecting a minimum element from this a particular list, and for the remaining list we are trying to find a maximum element that would maximize the difference between that number and 1. Similarly, I would do for this array and then for this as well until the time I've seen all the lists. So basically this is an n square solution, and this is quite straightforward. Since you are given that the arrays are sorted, so that means the smallest and the largest element are present at the 0th index and the n minus 1th index, right? Every array is sorted. So basically this n square solution is not something that people would be looking for. Since this is a medium problem, can you optimize this? And the answer to that is basically yes, quite a straightforward approach. Every time you move through a list, you keep track of the most minimum element that you have seen and the maximum element you have seen. So in this case, I have seen the minimum as 1 and maximum as 3. Now when I go to 4, I check the difference between this maximum and this minimum, and this minimum and this maximum. So the difference is 4. So I keep track of this 4 and try to check it in the next list. So my current maximum element would be 5, because maximum of 3 and 5 is 5, and minimum of 1 and 4 is what? 1. So I have 1 as my minimum element and 5 as my maximum element that I have seen till now. Now what I do is I check in this last array. So the maximum element is 5, and the minimum element in this one is 1, difference is 4, and otherwise the difference between 1 and 3 is 2. So we choose the number 4, which we already had gotten this. We already got this from this, and the difference of this and this. So that is the logic we are going to use. We would be iterating over all the lists, and whenever we find a list, we would calculate the minimum and the maximum element. So since we need to choose a and b from two different arrays, so what we can do is, first of all, I could just initialize my answer to 0. Now I take the minimum element as the first index of the first 0th index element at the 0th list. Similarly, I take the maximum element as the last element of the 0th list, right? Now for the next list onwards, what I do is find the size. I find the minimum and maximum of that list, this list in consideration, and I do that this maximizing of these three terms. We'll discuss what is this, and we update that to answer. So let's say we got some values from this and this, and but these are lesser than the answer that we already have, so we don't do the update, so we assign answer to itself. Otherwise, what could happen is the maximum element that we have seen till now and the minimum element in this array gives you the maximum difference, so you take the absolute value and assign that to the answer. Or the other thing could be checking this max element, assuming this to be the most maximum element that I have seen till now, and subtracting it from the minimum element that I have seen before this list, and I take the absolute difference, which is the distance, and I choose the maximum among all these three elements. Whichever is the max is our answer till that position in this arrays vector. Now after doing this, I update my maxi to either the what it was previously or the current max element in this list. Or in other words, for mini, you can take this mini value or this min value or the mini value that you already had. You choose the minimum of that, and you do this and you just return the answer. This is the whole point. So yep, that was the video. It's quite straightforward. A linear time approach, time complexity of 1, space complexity is constant, and Yep, this was what I wanted to show you. And yep, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.